Now we had started with the chapter human reproduction, and we have seen in the beginning that reproductive events in the human beings include gametogenesis, that is formation of gametes, male gamete, sperm, and female gamete, ovum. That is spermatogenesis and oogenesis. This we have done. Then insemination, that is release of sperms in the female genital tract. This is also done. Fertilization, that is fusion of male gamete with female gamete. That is the process called fertilization. Till this we have done. Now the next reproductive event is implantation. Fertilization results in the formation of zygote. Fertilization, that is the fusion of sperm and ovum. It results in the formation of first cell of new individual's body, that is called zygote. Zygote is the cell which is slightly larger than the other cells of the body, and now the mitotic divisions takes place in this zygote, and this unicellular zygote, it gets converted into multicellular morula, and the divisions which take place in the zygote to convert it into multicellular morula, these divisions are called cleavage. Cleavage, these are the series of rapid mitotic divisions which convert a zygote into morula. And the cells of the morula, they are called, these are called blastomeres. Cleavage is a special type of cell division which does not involve growth. It results in this the number of cells increases but the size of cells decreases. We can see the size of zygote and morula. It is nearly the same, but this was the single cell and there are many blastomeres. The size of cell is decreasing but the number of cells is increasing, and the oxygen consumption increases many folds during cleavage, and the number of cells they increase in arithmetic progression. Kaise? This is the first stage, that is the ovum, and the next stage, that is stage B, which is showing the fertilization. Now after fertilization, this zygote, it is undergoing cleavage. The first cleavage results in formation of two blastomeres. These are the blastomeres. Then the two blastomeres, they divide to form four blastomeres, and the four blastomeres, then they result in the eight blastomeres. They divide mitotically and they form the eight blastomeres, they divide further, and this results in the formation of 16 celled stage. So this is cleavage. This is the cleavage 1. This is cleavage 1. This is the result of cleavage 1. And cleavage 2, then cleavage 3, and so on. So the cleavage it produces morula. This 8 celled and 16 celled stage, this is called morula, and it results in the formation of a mulberry shaped structure. Cleavage in human zygote. It occurs during passage of zygote from fallopian tube to the uterus. Now let us see in another diagram. जब हम इसमें देखते हैं फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ट्रैक में, the insemination, the semen was discharged in this cervix region, near the cervix region. The sperms, they traveled through this path, they reached to the ovum, and fertilization took place in the ampulla region. In the ampulla region. This is ovary. And in ovary, what is seen? These are the Graafian follicles. This is the most mature Graafian follicle. And from the most mature Graafian follicle, this ovum is released. This is the egg cell. The ovum is released into the fallopian tube, and this process is called, what has taken place? Ovulation. Egg is released into the fallopian tube. Sperms, they reach the fallopian tube uh, after insemination. Now the ovum is fertilized. This process is fertilization. ये जो हमने देखा था, this egg is released. This was the stage A. This is stage A. Now the egg is fertilized. हम यहाँ पे, this is the fertilization. This is stage B. Now after fertilization, what was formed? The टू ब्लास्टोमियर स्टेज, क्लीवेज स्टार्ट हो गई थी. दिस इज स्टेज सी. उसके बाद हमारे पास थी ये 4 ब्लास्टोमियर स्टेज वाली. दिस इज स्टेज डी. एंड द नेक्स्ट इज 4 celled, 8 celled, 16 celled stage, and these stages are C, D and E. यहाँ पे देखें C, D and E. And this is the 16 celled stage. ये कहाँ पे देखो, फर्टिलाइजेशन हो गई, जाइगोट बना. नाउ जाइगोट इट स्टार्ट्स moving towards the uterus for implantation, because fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube and the implantation and the growth of the embryo or the young one takes place in the uterus. तो फर्टिलाइजेशन के बाद जाइगोट जो है वो मूव करना शुरू करेगा टूवर्ड्स द यूट्रस, और it takes about 1 week by the zygote to reach the uterus and get implanted in the wall of the uterus. This is the wall of the uterus. और जब वो मूव डाउन करता रहता है टूवर्ड्स द यूट्रस, तो उसमें ये चेंजेस आते रहते हैं. कौन से? क्लीवेज होती है. zygote gets divided into 2 celled stage. These 2 cells are called blastomeres. Then they divide arithmetically 4, 8 and 16 celled stage. और ये 16 celled stage जो है, this is called morula. Now the cells of morula, they continue to divide and they are arranged into 2 layers. The cells of morula, ये 8 या 16 celled stage के बाद, these cells, they arrange themselves into 2 layers. One is the outer layer of cells. ये वाले जो cells थे, the one is the outer layer of cells, and this outer layer of cell is called trophoblast or tropo. This is the trophoblast. And there is a inner mass of cells. One is the outer layer, one is the inner mass of cells. This inner mass of cell, it forms the embryo. This is the inner mass of cells, and these inner mass of cells, they will form the embryo. So this is the G layer stage. ये डिवाइड हुआ 4, 8, 16 सेल स्टेज, देन दिस इज द नेक्स्ट। तो इस स्टेज में ये यहाँ पहुँचा, दिस इज ABCDEF and this is the G stage with this inner mass of cells and the outer layer of cells, that is the trophoblast cells. This is the outer layer. Now this morula, this structure will get embedded in the wall of the uterus. Now trophoblast layer, then it gets attached into the endometrium. This layer, this gets attached into the endometrium. क्या था? Innermost layer of uterus. वॉल जो थी यूट्रस की वो 3 लेयर्स थी, उसमें द इनरमोस्ट लेयर इज द एंडोमीट्रियम, और इस एंडोमीट्रियम में दिस ट्रोफोब्लास्ट लेयर it gets embedded and it starts differentiating into a embryo. After its attachment into the uterine wall, the cells of uterine wall, they divide rapidly and they cover whole of the blastocyst. इस पूरे ब्लास्टोसिस्ट को, जब ये यहाँ तक तो ये मोरुला था, अब जब ये स्ट्रक्चर बन गया एक ट्रोफोब्लास्ट लेयर और इनर मास ऑफ सेल्स, नाउ इट इज कॉल्ड द ब्लास्टोसिस्ट. दिस स्ट्रक्चर इज द ब्लास्टोसिस्ट. This blastocyst, it gets embedded in the wall of the uterus, and this wall of cells of uterine wall, they divide and they cover whole of the blastocyst, and as a result this gets embedded in the endometrium, and this process is called implantation.